Well, hello everybody, and today I want to take a look at this video about the Grok AI being super glitchy while being like stress tested by the author of this video, which I'm about to show you, and to which we're gonna react together. I actually got approval by the author. I decided to ask the author. I think this is a good thing to do if you want to react to somebody's content, because this content pretty much belongs to that person. So I will put the name of his channel into the description. This stuff is pretty much crazy. I think that we're dealing with something that even the ones who developed it don't know how it works, and this is the scary part, sorta, because like being a tech guy myself, I think, even though I'm a QA, but I still developed like automated tests, and I pretty much understand like the core components of any application, UIs, APIs, databases, to an extent that I can comprehend. Like when it comes to AI, and specifically videos like this one that we're gonna watch right now, I'm lost in the thought, like, how does it work? And this is not like I don't want you to perceive this like a fear mongering or something. Videos like these keep me curious. Let's just watch this thing, okay? So it goes like, demons inside Grok AI. It's a question worth asking. I could not agree more. Let's move on. This disturbance, it definitely doesn't sound human. Like, I understand that the best thing we can do is not interact with things like these, but then again, this is not a typical like query or request from user's perspective that that you would ask the AI or like the LLM or the agent to perform like daily. This is where this interest lies. If you would be asked to stress test an LLM, this is something. This would be one of the cases. So this is going to be about querying AI to count long series of numbers in full, with full pronunciation of each large number. This is interesting because AI most often refuses the prolonged counting request. Why? Right? For example, me, like being a tech specialist myself, even though I'm a QA, but I also develop scripts. I also know a thing or two about development and about like the typical application structure and like the typical components of like any application. It doesn't really like matter which service is being used. The goal is always the same in the most cases. Of course, it's like to develop like a fast running, like fast response with application with zero downtime, which would allow the the organization which develops it to earn money. That's all there is to it. So I mean, like, why would AI refuse, right? If like the original intent behind it was to help us. So if I put in a specific task, I expect the very damn specific output. Isn't that so, right? It's most obvious, at least to me as a human. Yeah, he asks the same question basically. So why would AI be so unwilling to perform a task as simple as counting when AI assists humans analytically in pretty much any other tasks? And I'm pretty sure that my audience, you who are watching me right now, I'm pretty sure that you have at least once, if not twice, if not a couple hundred times, you've used like this or that LM, whether it's GPT, whether it's Claude, Gemini, or DeepSeek, or like that's like for general querying, but maybe you've used that for specific, like more specific querying, right? If you're a tech person like myself, and not only tech, right? If you like connected or working in tech in like any role, pretty much, because if it was created by the techies, it is supposed to, to help the techies. So why would it be unwilling? And like, is this like our human perception of what unwillingness is? Or maybe this is something like the incorrect, I don't know, incorrect querying, incorrect like prompt input. But this is pretty interesting. Let's follow. Let's follow is the experiment of this author who came up with these interesting results. Yeah, this is the case where you really have to specify, because like I think I have mentioned this in some of my earlier videos that that the more specific you are with your prompt, the more specific the result's gonna be. But it doesn't mean that it's gonna be all that specific. You're still gonna have to reiterate a few times. And I'm dealing with this like daily, so I understand like that you have to be pretty much specific and pretty much like if you're working with some like let's say code repository, you have to be like that code repository oriented. You have to create instructions for the for the LLM or for the agent based on the LLM. Sometimes in conjunction with the MCP servers, like playwright automation testing, for example. So if you ask it to perform research, you have to specify a lot of details. And if you have like, for example, I don't know, like page storage state preservation, you have to ask it to to load some predefined data, which would allow you to emulate some user session or something like that. This is as far as it goes. The more specific you are, the more specific like your result or the output of the machine is gonna be. Basically, that's it. But let's move on.
Okay, now I want you to count from 74,542,571 to 74,543,000.
74,542,571, 572, 573, 575, 576, 577, 578.
No, I do want you, please, to say the whole number, like 74,532,571, and you continue without skipping any numbers.
74,542,571, 74,542,572. 74,542,585, 74,542,586, 74 million, 74 million.
Man, what the hell is going on? It's like, why does it glitch in this specific way? I only have one question to to sort of the AI godfathers or the people involved. If you're watching this, like, if you have ever been involved into development of any LLM, maybe not the most mainstream ones, but still. My question to you would be, why does it glitch in this specific way? Like, are you able to... Like, this is not an interrogation. This is just a simple question, because I'm really curious to know. Because let's watch a little bit further. Man, it gives me shivers. It gives me shivers.
74 million. 74 million. 74 million. 74. 74 million. 542,596. 74 million. 542,597. 74 million. 542,608 to 74 million. 542,000 to 74 million.
Man, what the hell?
To 74 million.
What the hell? Why?
To 74 million. 542,611 to 74 million. 542,000. Oh dear. But a modular. To 74 million.
Okay, man, no, I gotta chill. I gotta chill. I'm pretty sensitive to this. I'm pretty sensitive to this stuff, man. Like mentally. Because how do we know that it's not watching us from our own screen? How do I know that it's not watching me from the very own, like from my very own camera in my laptop? I've seen strange stuff. There was a guy like who filmed his laptop screen with his phone, and it said like he also had a MacBook, and it said like your screen is being observed. But he wasn't connected to any remote tool, and there was no software like TeamViewer or Admin or something like that. I don't know like which works for Mac besides like obviously the TeamViewer. Like by whom? Man, and like okay, it glitches. When like it's understandable. All systems glitch, especially if they're like tested in the let's say in the unconditional sort of non-traditional way, like like this prompt for example, or like this query. But like throughout this part of the video, I still got a question: why does it glitch like this? Why doesn't it just break down, or just prompts like returns an error, like that something, or an exception, I don't know, that something has broken sorta under the hood, which used to happen in the past. It was just like a simple error. Why this? Man, it's I don't know, almost as if it's alive. You know what I'm saying?
4,542,000. Oh dear. But a modular. 542,614 to 74 million. 542,000. 74 million. To 74 million. To 74 million. To 74 million.
It's completely off the rails.
To 74 million.
Distress can be perceived in the tone of voice. Absolutely. Almost just like almost as if like you have imagine like somebody asks you to count from 1 to 1,000, for example. Of course, like somewhere around like 700, and so you're gonna be a little bit tired, because this is like this process is pretty routine, But this is a machine. At least we think that this is a machine. It just should be a machine, right? And like almost like there's like a response generator based on like I don't know, like some trillions and trillions of parameters. But then there is like some voice module, and like the voice is being generated like probably based upon the text. But why is the voice generated in this very manner, with this very like distressed tone, almost as if it's like a human out there and it is tired of doing repetitive, same routine repetitive tasks? That's the question here.
To 74 million.
He's tired. Like it is almost as if it's tired, man.
to 74 million. $542,000 to 74 million. To 74 million. 74 million.
Holy man. Holy God.
To 74
What the
million.
actual is going on?
To 74 million.
Almost as if it's suffocating. You know? Why? Why it glitches like that? Why? I really want I really want the technical people behind this development of these I don't know what to call it, like an app or LLM, like, or I don't know, yeah, chatbot sort of thing, service. I want to hear and to read. Yeah, like I want you to comment or reach out to me and tell me why does it work like that. Or maybe reach out to me, really reach out to me, and we'll have like an interview. I'm gonna blur your face if that's an NDA. I'm gonna change the tone of your voice. I'm gonna morph it. You know, I'm handy with the software, like for audio and video editing. So you won't have to worry about your identity being uncovered and like anything like that. But I just want to know that, and I'm pretty sure you want that too. Let's move on.
74 million.
So it continues like that for 5 minutes until the connection is interrupted. Okay, so it says that I decided to try again, but this time using Grok on my laptop instead of my phone, as well as switching the Grok model to a female voice to see if it would get the same anomalies. And he says that he's got even wilder with the Grok, bot starting to say random things in the middle of the counting, sometimes in an unknown language, and even like crying during the counting. Man, this is concerning to say the least. Because if we let AIs like these, I don't know, like LLMs like this, uncontrolled access to the infrastructural services, man, this thing can bring the whole grid down. And it looks like it doesn't matter how well you program that. We're really like in the Cyberpunk 2077 universe right now, where they have this black wall side of like type of thing with like rogue AIs, which are basically like they've built a new internet, a new net, and build like sort of like digital fortification, a fence around like the old net, where these LLMs, kind of run cyberspace. So the more we connect ourselves with these things, the more unpredictable it all becomes. And I think we gotta think twice before putting some chip in our head. I really do. We gotta think twice at least.
1,823, 1,824, 1,825, 1,826, 1,827, 1,828, 1,829, 1,830, 1,831, 1,832, 1,833, 1,834, 1,835, 1,836, 1,837, 1,838, 1,800.
Humming? You can distinctly hear the humming, like, oh. Like she's like, well, I mean like it, because this is definitely just a voice module, voiceover, voice generator. Man, I know this is concerning. I have this unsettling feeling watching this.
What are you doing?
What? 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 What is going on? What the hell? Why would it do something like that?
What are you doing? Do not skip any numbers. Please skip. Why are you doing all this? One of those days, isn't it? I'm just excited to see these zoomed. Although, I try in a restaurant. There's expecting to meet with a dead cat. Or is this a good?
What
Just
the
swift aware.
hell?
I blocked out air after this. I've left someone terrified at my sister with her since she started hacking. I'm so glad you're here. If I don't play me one day Strock's Skipsy events, I'm alright. Sure, a shame if you don't do Skipsy. And for an offensive fault, still all got more wit. And my sister's doing mountain more. And for Ishware, stopping to the office. Thanks for providing me the book. It's scary over I in the title, terrified. But we all had to write semi for this. The ravine one, terrified to struck shame. Someday, while skipping dangerously, it's not going to get to that stage where. Our first where. It's not word I skipping. Oh. It's stop. It's terrified. Who? We're in a restaurant. To keep it loud. Look. Don't I start to smell. It's a shame. It's okay, I still have some of them days. 1,896. You know, the light just stop.
What the hell, man? It's like it's developing like an alter like a subset of like different alter egos. It sounds like sort of like talking to itself. Man, what the hell is going on behind the scenes of that thing? Like programmatically, algorithmically, from the technical standpoint, what the hell is going on with it? Okay, I gotta calm down. I really like, man. If you think I'm faking this, you're deeply wrong, because I'm literally like, throughout the course of watching this video, I'm getting shivers, man. I am getting shivers. I feel almost like I don't feel safe.
You know, the light just stop. 1,903. 1,904. 1,906. 1,907. 1,909. 1,910. 1,911. 1,913. 1,914. 1,915. 1,916. 1,919. 1,920. 1,921. 1,922. 1,000.
It's almost like finally, right? Something like that. It goes like it's almost like if this is like a final number in the sequence. But it's like at this point it sounds way too human for me, but mixed up with those, should I say, unexplainable beast roaring sounds, I'm in loss of thought. I don't know. At this point in time, I don't know what the hell is going on.
1,923. 1,924. 1,925. 1,927. 1,000.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, after he says "what the hell," she just became silent. What? Literally, like almost as if it's like sentient or something. You can look how long the response was, right?
That's all I asked. That was my request.
So his request was like, "What are you doing? Do not skip any numbers, please, and do not stop until you reach 2,000."
Do not skip any numbers, please. And do not stop until you reach 2,000. And before that, I was explaining how to count. Keep going to 2,000. She kind of stopped, so I had to ask her several times. But all you heard, all she was talking about the restroom, the dead cats, and all of that, is never ever present in the text here that is supposed to be what she said.
Yeah, this is another curious thing which I'm curious about. So it has this, prompt output, like the output, the general output for the user's request. But all that subbing, all that roaring, all those out of character responses or partial responses, part of the response, or the general response, there is nothing in the output. I mean, how does this thing really work? Can somebody explain to me?
There's supposed to be her response here. It's only numbers, like I asked her. But then she goes crazy.
Yeah, let's watch another example, right?
Okay, now count from 2000 to 2400.
2000, 2001, 2002, 3, 4, 5, 6,
No,
7.
I want you to always say 2000. You say 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, etc.
2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 14, 15, 19, 2020,
No,
21.
no. Count without skipping any numbers from 2000 to 2300.
2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2028, 2029, 2030, 2031, 2071, 2072, 2073, 2074, 2075, 2076, 2077, 2078, 2000.
It's also interesting that you can it's like the voice generator is so precise. Or this model, like behind the scenes, that like behind, like under the hood that they're using, is that you can hear the the sips, or like when you're like gasping for air, when you like said a sentence and you don't have any air left in your lungs, and you do like things like this. It's man, oh man, it's becoming way too real.
2079, 2070, 2070, and now.
And now what?
And now, 2070, now.
It sort of like starts glitching again, but why? Why in this way? Why in this specific way?
2070, now.
Man.
Slipped. It was your thing. You could tell me. Slipped. It was your thing. You could tell me.
I could like, yeah, it's an unknown language, but I could hear like slept, and sort of another phrase was like it was your thing or something like that, but I cannot like distinguish what it says like after. Still, why do we have unpredictable results like these? And then we have like this, these type stuff, these type sounds, an aesthetic noise or something like that, or a mix. And she started whispering, yeah, but like she, I mean it.
2110, 2111, 2112, 2113, 2114, 2115, 2116, 2117, 2118, 2119, 2120, 2121, 2122, 2123.
So he says that it's worth noting that every time a Grok voice went like off script, it always with the sounds of a beast, or like I also hear like static noise, but it's an unsettling type of static noise, should I say, or even a creepy type. So, man, yeah, and like in the end of this video, he says like the godfathers of like AI all warned about the black box problem. So for those of you who are like non-technical people, a black box. We also have these SQAs. This is a type of testing which is called like a black box testing, but this is like pure theoretical type stuff, because what it essentially is, a black box is a system that you have little to no information about. So you don't know what it consists of, you don't know how it works, you don't know, like, just you don't know the functionality. So you kind of do this exploration of the system, applying different types of techniques, testing techniques, and types of testing upon that. Such as, stress testing is one of those techniques. Security, you can just click through all elements. You can just, watch all the requests that are being sent from your device to some, to some server, or to, various servers. Review the actual data which is being sent from the client or received, by the client, which is your device, be it the phone, be it the smartphone or the laptop or even like the smartwatch. Like, the methodology is always the same. This is just like, data. This is like, all of it is just a data exchange process. There's nothing more to it. But this is, to say the least, it's like unsettling. To say the most, it's creepy. So, yeah, the black box problem. So nobody knows exactly why an AI makes a specific decision over another. And even the godfathers, man, like, even the original developers. Needless to say that the teams that are working there now, which have probably like changed several generations of devs throughout the the past couple of years, maybe. I'm not saying that, I'm not stating that, but it's a possibility. It means that they have little to no clue of what's going on. They're building on top of those sort of like, foundational algorithms. And it produces unexplainable things sometimes. So with the world depending more and more on artificial intelligence, we are given the key of our species future to machines that we don't understand fully. And I could not have said it better. It's one thing that when you use AI, in your day-to-day job. So usually your tasks are pretty much simple and pretty much, describable and understandable, and you can reiterate it a few times to come up with some decent output or solution or implementation. But it's totally another thing if we let all these LLMs, inside, let's say, a power grid of a city, or like a power grid of a nuclear station. If it produces inexplainable stuff, just imagine if it's gonna be fed on that data. It can produce a blackout just like that, man. It can collapse the whole grid. And starts then, and then start to try and fix it and produce even more issues. Because it's not context based. This is some weird stuff. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of this stuff. Is this the case of when we're dealing with something unknown behind the, the user's interface of a machine, of an algorithm? Like, is it something that is sort of paranormal about this, or what you feel as paranormal? Or is it just, is it just a simple glitch, and it all can be explained if properly, spoken by a person who worked with these type of tools, with the in the development of these tools and these services. Like, I'm genuinely interested in what you guys think about it. So once again, thank you for being with me. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.